Welcome back. Our next guest grew up working in community gardens and studied the culinary arts before entering into the healthcare industry. Now she's a full time chef, dedicated her career to fighting for food justice, supporting the health and nutritional well being of Black and Brown communities, and transforming food systems worldwide. Joining me now and sharing more details is the founder and executive director of the Black Chef Movement, Rasheeda McCallum. And Rasheeda, good to have you back and glad to see you.
Hi, James. Hi, it's great to have you as well.
Listen, so congratulations. I know that you continue to, do the work. When we first met last time, you really were involved in taking care of protesters during the Black Lives Matter movement and bringing food care. But, you really have accelerated since then and really have got a heart and a passion for food justice.
Yes, absolutely. So we were definitely born out of the summer protests and doing all of the work in the community, we realized after the protests died down that there was still so much work to do. And for us, because we are the Black Chef Movement, we specialize in just providing food for low income Black and Brown communities. And so since then, that's something that we've been doing consistently. Another effort that we like to make sure that we have our hands in is just feeding poll workers. That's one of our passions. We think that it's important that people go out and vote because if people aren't voting, then there aren't a lot of changes happening in our community. So that's something that we're definitely passionate about.
Mhm. And so for you, I know you've got a couple of drives coming up and some things happening as we prepare ourselves for the holidays. Share with us a little bit about what you got going on.
Yes. So the holidays for a lot of us is a very special time. And unfortunately, for some people, it's not so special because, the pandemic happened. Some people are still out of work. And so we want to make sure that we're there for those folks and we're there for the community. And we like to emphasize hot meals. Last year, we had a hot food for the holidays food drive. And this year, we're going to continue the effort. We want to make sure that we're in these low income communities giving out hot meals so that people can truly, enjoy their holidays. And that's something that we're really passionate about. We really get to meet a lot of young people. We get to communicate with people, figure out what they need so that we can always continue to provide.
Yeah. And I know, you've been doing this for a minute and you talked about your work being actually born out of that summer when, of course, the George Floyd protests and really Black Lives Matter took to the streets. For yourself, it's been an evolution of sorts. And for you, I know that the opportunity now to receive recognition and one of those recognitions coming from Mayor-elect Eric Adams while he was still working in Brooklyn.
Oh my goodness, yes, I have it right here. So amazing. He just really wanted to recognize us for the work that we've been doing in the community, and just to see how far that he's going now, and getting the chance to meet him and just to communicate with him and to talk to him and to tell us for us to express to him what we need from him as our mayor. Is really impactful, and just to get this award from him, this citation, it really meant a lot to us to let us know that we are doing the work, we are in the streets, and really just to give us more motivation to keep on going.
What can you tell us about this? Because when you look at being out on the streets, it looks as though that we're going to still be out there for a moment, but yet and still your commitment is really to making sure that everybody has a right to food and for those persons that are really serving on the front lines to make sure that they're covered and cared for. So give us a little bit about, just your philosophy on how you see things right now.
Well, there still has been, a movement for just racial justice. There's a lot of injustice happening in the low income communities. I myself, I'm from the Bronx, but I grew up in Brooklyn, and I've seen a lot of different things happening throughout different boroughs in New York City, and it has a lot to do with inequities. So for us, I feel like we like to support the organizations who are working the long hours, who need access to food. These people who are doing the work on the front lines, they need food as well. So we like to use our resources to feed those folks in addition to feeding the people in the community. We just like to keep ourselves busy and have our hands in every pot that we can, for lack of a better word. But, it's a lot of fun. It's something I'm passionate about. Again, I can say I'm from the hood. So it feels good to know that I can go back and serve these people because I know how it feels to not know where your next meal comes from. And I think a lot of people don't know that it's a real thing. Food insecurity is a real thing. Food deserts is a real thing. There's a lot of people who, if a bodega closes, they have to travel a mile and get on a bus just to get to a supermarket. So we like to go into those communities and have food drives, get fresh produce that's always left over from these big corporations, and give it back to the people who need it.
Yeah. And so, if people want to get connected to what you got going on coming up, how do they go about doing that?
Please visit our website, blackchefmovement.org. We need so much volunteers. It's not even funny. If you are someone who, you always wanted to give back and get involved, here's your chance. Please, we're welcoming you with open arms. We're all a family. So visit us on social media, blackchefmovement.org as well.
And so, as we continue and we talk about the work that's being done right now and really trying to, close the gap when it comes to this food desert, let me just get your perspective right here. From what you're seeing, given the fact we're in another stage of COVID, do you find things to be getting better or worse when it comes to this food insecurity?
Um, I feel like because kids are going back into schools, that is helpful. I do feel like there is room for more improvement, but I think it's helpful that the kids are back in school because a lot of kids rely on school food for their meals. And that was one of the main issues in the beginning of the pandemic of why they couldn't close the schools because there is a homeless issue in NYC and there is a food insecurity issue with NYC. So I do think it's helpful that the kids are back in school, but I do think that there's a lot of wealth in this country and the wealth needs to be spread around evenly so that people can eat, it's really important.
Yeah. Well, Rasheeda, thank you so much for being with us, sharing the great work that you're doing and making sure that people are taken care of. And congratulations on how you've really accelerated in this area of food justice and providing. So thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you so much for having me. Take care.
All righty. Now, we want to let you know if you want more information, we encourage you to go ahead and visit the website, blackchefmovement.org, and then follow her on Instagram as well as Facebook at Black Chef Movement. We encourage you don't go anywhere. Open continues coming up right after this.